eyes on me. All eyes on me.
Welcome back. What is good, everybody? Here's a question. Are we having fun with our games? Or are we too busy criticizing other people having fun with their games? What is up? I'm Fox at Foxy Games UK, your regular aggregate source of the latest game news, rumour and video game discussion. Some views expressed in our videos are those of third parties and do not necessarily represent the views of Foxy Games UK. You can keep up to date with all the latest game news and rumour by following via Twitter at FoxyGames_UK. All relevant links can be found in this video's description. Now let's kick off with our first news item. Square Enix is reportedly dedicating considerable resources to fund its new Marvel's Avengers project. Courtesy of WCCFtech.com, here's the full story. So back in January of this year, Square Enix announced a multi-game partnership with Marvel that would start with the so-called Avengers project to be developed by Crystal Dynamics, they who did Tomb Raider with help from Eidos Montreal, they who did Thief and Deus Ex. Not much is known about the game, save that it will feature an original storyline just like Insomniac's Spider-Man, and really will introduce a universe where fans can expect to play for several years. This sounds like the Avengers project will use the game as a service model, and in fact Square Enix already said their future titles are going to be made with that in mind. And we haven't heard anything more about the Avengers project yet, but in a recent interview with Game Industry CEO Yosuke Matsuda did provide some additional information. Here's a quote. I can't really go into specific numbers, but I can say we're dedicating considerable development resources to them, especially out of the Western studios. And I believe that level of the game that we're developing right now, as far as what I've seen, is amazing, and you'll be seeing news about it going forward. Now this reveals how much Square Enix is heavily banking on the partnership with Marvel, which is now among the biggest brands in the entire entertainment sector. It also indirectly confirms the speculation that the company's decision to let go of IO Interactive was at least partly tied to this project, given that so many resources were going to the development of these new Marvel games. Now we should hear more about the first project next year. It's likely that both Marvel and Square Enix will try to ship the game between Avengers Infinity War, which is due May 4th, 2018, and Avengers 4 due May 3rd, 2019. And that's where this news article ends. Okay, here's the thing. I think it's fair to say that video games based on superhero characters have been a bit of a mixed bag. Everything from the hit and miss mediocrity of Activision's Spider-Man series to quite possibly the worst superhero game created by any earthling. Yes, you guessed it, the awful Superman 64. Of course, there have been a few exceptions, namely Rocksteady's Arkham series, and the upcoming Spider-Man PS4 exclusive looks very tasty. And then there have been some excellent Marvel and DC fighters to be had too. So fingers crossed Squeenix make Marvel Avengers with the same high quality as its Tomb Raider series. But what do you think? Let us know in the comments. In other news, Cuphead has sold more than 1 million copies, and that's just on PC alone. Here's the full story courtesy of DSOgaming.com. So Studio MDHR's classic run and gun action game Cuphead has sold 1 million copies on Steam according to Steam Spy's data. The game's total sales on consoles and PC are now over 1 million after all, and back in October Studio MDHR revealed that the game's total sales had reached 1 million already. Now here's a few stats for you. Now, the game was developed by Studio MDHR Entertainment, and it's an action indie title which was released on September 29 for a very low introductory price of $19.99 as far as AAA games go. Now, it has a Metascore of 88% and it has over 1 million owners, which is plus 30,692 from the last time the ownership was recorded. Players in the last 2 weeks at 307,096, which is plus 16,984, up by 30.58%. And the players in total 969,933, which is plus 30,163, which is up 96.58%. Wow. So nearly 1 million people are playing this game. concurrently. Unfortunately, Studio MDHR has not revealed individual platform sales. Now, our guess is that the game has sold a bit better on the PC than on Xbox One. Back in October, the PC sales were around the 600 to 700,000 mark. As such, the PC was responsible for at least 60% of the game's sales. Cuphead is a 2D game that focuses on boss battles, and in Cuphead you play as Cuphead or Mugman in single player or local co-op as you traverse strange worlds, acquiring new weapons, learning powerful super moves and discovering hidden secrets while you try to pay your debt back to the devil. Cuphead is one of the few games that passed the 1 million sales point in 2017. This indie run and gun game has topped Divinity Original Sin 2, Black Desert Online and Ghost Recon Wildlands. It's certainly good news for Studio MDHR and Microsoft, who were known to have backed Cuphead from the very start. And in our final news segment, everybody knows November is one of the most lucrative months of the year for the games industry, and every single November that has come and gone has been eclipsed in 2017. Yes, you heard that right. This November has been the most lucrative ever, leading MPD analysts to really expect over 600,000 Xbox One X systems sold this year, with PS4, Xbox One, Switch all in the running to take this November's NPD. Here's the full story courtesy of JewelShockers.com. So the NPD is seen as one of the most authoritative sources of statistics for video games in the United States, and its dedicated analyst Matt Piscatella had some interesting insight to share on the Resetera forums. Firstly, Piscatella mentioned that the winner for the hardware in the month of November is a coin flip situation. It could easily be any of the three, he said. Interestingly, he also mentioned that his prediction for Xbox One X sales was around 600,000 units for this year, but now he feels that Microsoft is going to blow past that simply by manufacturing more units than he thought they would. He also expressed an interesting point of view on the fact that Sony, Microsoft and Nintendo are all doing well. Here's a quote. "Yeah, I keep trying to think of ways of how I can write notes that emphasizes everyone doing well, which is my current assumption, but who knows. If all three consoles have spectacular months from a market perspective, does it really matter which one sells a few more units than the other? No, but if I didn't note the leader, then everyone loses their minds." Piscatella then mentioned that digital Black Friday sales from Sony and Microsoft are phenomenal. If you're wondering why he doesn't mention Nintendo, the House of Mario does not share digital sales with the NPD, and retailers are already bringing deep discounts on software, so November should also be a big month for games, not just for hardware. Another interesting point made by Piscatella is on the narrative that some attribute to GameStop allegedly favoring Microsoft and Nintendo due to recent comments on the performance of the Switch and the Xbox One X. Switch and the One X are new boxes this year, so Switch sales will be up really hugely compared to the Wii U last year, and Xbox One should be up pretty big year on year because of the One X. PS4 could end up being the best selling platform, but spend might not be up when compared to last year. Also, this narrative that the leading games retailer is doing console wars and is somehow biased against Sony is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever read on a message board on Twitter. It's truly Herculean in the scale of asinine. Congrats on that one. And that's where the report ends. Seems the race for November's NPD is wide open. Nintendo Switch has been widely predicted to win November's much coveted NPD, but Sony has reported its best Black Friday in PlayStation's 22-year history, apparently selling shed loads of PS4 hardware, and PlayStation VR sales are close to the first week launch sales of last year, a period when typically all new hardware launch sales are expected to be very strong. Microsoft have also reported a very strong Xbox One X launch and a very lucrative Black Friday when the One S model was reduced to a mind-bogglingly low $170. Now, those who are particularly interested in NPD sales will have to wait until the first week of December to find out which of the big three stole the majority of that Christmas cash. Which brings us to the end of another video. But let's continue the discussion. Share your thoughts on all of today's news stories in the video comments. And for more PS4, Switch and Xbox news, subscribe to Foxy Games UK. As usual, if you found any of the information in this video at all useful, hit the like button and help us reach more like-minded gamers just by sharing this video. You can also help the Foxy Games UK channel grow via Patreon. We offer at just one tier $1 pledge, where you can find the link in the video's description. Thanks for all and any support. And there we have it. Until next time, always remember, play games, not corporations. Thanks for watching, everybody.